Do you remember our friend, JETPIG? They are helping us learn about our proposed UU shared values that will be voted on at the General Assembly this summer. Those values are love, justice, you can say them with me if you want, equity, transformation, pluralism, interdependence, and generosity. They're learning them, JETPIG. They're learning them. You're doing good work. Okay. All right, what do you have in your backpack, JETPIG? It says, we covenant to embrace one another in community by welcoming all with an open heart and generous spirit, seeking to understand others with grace and patience, speaking our truths bravely and respectfully, and creating space for all to be heard, acknowledged, and valued. Where have I heard that before? Oh, Emily. It's our new covenant. Oh my gosh, you're right. JETPIG, how did that get in your backpack? So I have heard that. That is the new UUCDC covenant. A covenant is an agreement or a promise that we make with each other. It talks about how we want to be when we're together. Our proposed values, JETPIG, love, equity, et cetera, are actually part of a covenant. The statement, the section, starts out as Unitarian Universalists, we covenant, and then it goes through the values and explains them. The things that we put in covenants are the things that we value. And these can change slightly depending on what group we're in. And that's okay. So I can have my personal values. Perhaps we could call that a covenant I make with myself. And then I can have covenants with the various groups that I'm in. So I could have a covenant with my family. I have a covenant with the congregation. Even the church staff, we have our own covenant that we hold with each other. The things that a group values most might be different from the things that I value most personally. Every year, our RE classes make their own covenant. I'm going to show you some of them. So can we show the first slide? Okay, so our first and second graders, this is their covenant this year. Next slide. Next slide. Yeah, the third and fourth graders, they are, their whole curriculum this year is about covenant. That's what they're learning about. So they went fancy and did a rainbow covenant. I know. Fifth, sixth grade covenant. I put the ages on here because I know not everyone remembers what ages different grades are. Our seventh and eighth graders on the next slide, this is our OWL class. And they took the extra step of signing their names to their covenant. And actually, the UUCDC staff, our names are on our covenant too. We didn't sign them, but we do put our names at the bottom of our covenant. And then finally, the last slide is the 9th through 12th grade Yucky COA covenant. Those are our high schoolers. And then if we'll go to the final slide, that's all of them together. That one's hard to read, but it shows them all. So one of the things that is on all of the RE covenants is something about being inclusive or welcoming. That's a shared value across all of our RE classes. Everyone agrees to that. And I would think that even many of you who aren't in our RE classes agree or would want that to be a value, to be welcoming, to be inclusive. But then there are values that are specific to certain groups. Our youngest kids care very deeply about sharing materials and about following rules like not running. Those are things that are very important to the kids in those classes. Those are skills that they're still learning, so it makes sense that that would be something that they would want to articulate specifically in their covenant. On the other hand, our older kids, our middle and high schoolers, care very deeply about confidentiality. And they have in their covenant things about cell phone use, because those are things that are relevant to them. Those are values that are important for those ages. Covenants are created by a group and are specific to the values of the group. Right, JETPIG? Yes, JETPIG agrees. Thank you for listening to my little story about covenants today.